Saba groaned. His arms shook, adrenaline and fear ricocheting through his blood. Then floral embossed boots appeared beside his nose. Saba jerked away and looked up in time to see Zek grab the scruff of Saba's attacker, yank him back next to his own shoulder, and squarely strike him in the face. The punch connected neatly with a flat pop, but the man's scream came out mangled. Zek let him go, and he dropped to his knees beside Saba, both hands hovering over a bloody red nose. Zek didn't stop there. A clean schlick cut across the noise. Zek beheaded the hair on his cane, unlatching some mechanism that kept it secure, and drew from the hollow base a thin, sharp blade. The air sung with the scrape of steel against steel. Bodily, Zek moved to shield Saba. He held his sword balanced against his opposite forearm, body hunkered low as he braced himself. His injured leg shook, but Zek did not fall. "Vasili?" Zek asked. "I'm all right," Saba said shakily. He stood, heart racing. Saba was backed against the table. In his fall, he must have pulled the tablecloth free. The food and the empty jug of Coranti had tumbled into a heap on the ground. Saba pressed himself against the clear table, and with Zek shielding him, allowed himself to catch his breath. Half the restaurant was on their feet. The silence was pregnant and deafening with its expectations. "One zealous man I can understand," Zek pitched his voice loud. "But an entire restaurant full of them? It was my understanding that the people of Byrengrad followed the law, or at the very least recognized their Triad's authority." Here Zek whistled to the server he had paid off. The man glanced around, but stepped forward at whatever look was on Zek's face. "Pocket," Zek said, commanding. The server gingerly reached into Zek's pocket and pulled free the pass signed by Hiduns. "They are investigating what happened in Lufka Ward," the server said after reading it. "On the judge's orders." Murmurs went up, but the only sound of outrage was from the man Zek had put on the ground. He squeaked when he talked, and his nose had inflated enormously, the bulbous bottom appearing like a bruised peach. "Bullshit," he said. Zek dropped the sharp edge of his blade toward him. "Touch, Vasili, and you make an enemy not only of your own Triad, but of the Rezwyn Empire." To this the man said nothing. He got very quiet, and satisfied, Zek replaced the sword into the unassuming base of the cane. He leaned heavily against it. "Anyone else?" he called out. No one said anything. Zek turned around and winked at Saba once. "Just what I thought." Saba was wide awake with adrenaline. His cheek burned and his ego was rather bruised, but otherwise he was unharmed. Thanks to Zek. The Rezwyn nodded at him and said, "As we were saying, to diligence, Inquisitor." Saba nodded, stupefied and dizzy. They walked back to the gig in silence.